Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, and welcome to Dev Talks. This is Aadi. As Anikesh just said, Saturday afternoon, and it's time for the deep dive with General Rajiv Narayanan. Sir, good afternoon. Firstly, let me get you into the show.
Good afternoon, Adi. Pleasure as always. And shoot away.
Sir, my main question only, very simple. Uh, I'll make two comments. One is a serious comment, one is a non-serious comment. So after that, I'll leave you to it. The serious comment is that you have a country which is basically at war with itself. That's something that we know. Every part of the country is fighting with itself, and the unfortunate thing is that it's a nuclear power, and it is a neighbor of ours. Apart from that, it's taking a ton of money from China to do whatever is done. Therefore, yesterday attacks. A lot of people say there are Chinese shells which have been found, and the RPG was Chinese origin, and this and that. So there's a whole another angle to it. So that's the serious comment because this is a country that has not a military threat but a nuisance threat to us. At a non-serious level, sir, Pakistani armies ruled Pakistan. Civilians, okay, fine. Let me give it to them, sir. They've ruled Pakistan. Now, is it that the judges want to rule Pakistan?
Or to be precise, the Supreme Court Chief Justice. What is that character's name? Umar Atta Bandel.
But then, I know the last name. आपने तो पूरा
Umar Atta Bandel. The situation is very different actually. It is, I would say, what you're seeing today is a fight not between, I won't say pro Imran, anti Imran. It is a fight between Sharia, which is Taliban, they wants to bring Sharia versus Musharraf's version of moderate Islam.
That's a heavy statement right at the beginning, sir.
That is the battle which is unfolding today. And at the moment, Palda Sharia ke taraf bhari hai. Imdadim has made his bed with the Talibanis. The radicals are supporting him. And I'll give you why I say. Their crisis began, I would say, started coming out when we did the demonetization. They lost billions of dollars. And we cut away that German company whom Chidu Bhai had given the contract to for minting our currency. So suddenly all their money which they had invested in, God knows how many, some figures are being thrown about. I don't know how accurate it is, but let us say tens of thousands of crores of fake currency notes. So the money is gone. That has become waste, and I believe one or two people in Dubai committed suicide. Okay. And routing was via Nepal and Sri Lanka, and need I say more that both these countries are facing economic crisis.
Even Bangladesh, yeah, correct.
And Bangladesh. Okay. And the next to hit was the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, why was the withdrawal from Afghanistan a biggest hit? Right since its inception, Pakistan has been a mercenary state, renting its geopolitical location to the best, highest bidder, that I am ready to do anything. They did not pay any attention to any structures to be created for their economy, their fiscal status, nothing. तब से आज तक भीख मांग के गुजारा कर रहे. At that time it was necessity. The US looked at them, that's why they joined CENTO, CETO and what have you against USSR. So they got all their aids, grants, loans, and also brought in corruption. because the elite started eating out from that also. So, over a period of time, they were taking aids and loans to pay off the previous loans.
Hmm.
It is something like what people do, a lot of people do in USA. एक बैंक से पहले एक क्रेडिट कार्ड लिया, उसका पूरा खत्म हो गया तो दूसरा क्रेडिट कार्ड लिया, और वो ईएमआई ही पे करते हैं उससे।
हाँ, वो मिनिमम क्या, मिनिमम बैलेंस।
मिनिमम जो देना होता है वो ही देते हैं, बट वो भी खत्म हो जाता है तो तीसरे से ले लेते हैं अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड, एंड दे लिव ऑन क्रेडिट. Pakistan, instead of sorting out its own economic and fiscal structure, lived on this credit card, loan card, not credit card, loan grant aid card. अब वो बंद हो गया. The alarm bells should have rung about almost 5-10 years ago when people were saying that they are taking loan to pay off interest. Earlier they were getting all these aid and loan and they were paying off the previous principal. Now principal नहीं, अब interest दे रहे थे. Now the moment the US and the West pulled out from here, geopolitical position चला गया था. But luckily at that point in time, they found China. In the 21st century beginning, they found China. China देने लगा, but China is not West ना. वो तो he will take every pound of flesh from him. Now he is up a gum tree. And he doesn't know what to do because आपने अपने बच्चों को तो सिखाया ही नहीं है ना कि what is economy, macro economy, micro economy, फिजिकल कैसे आप फिजिकल पॉलिसीज कैसे बनते हैं, वो सब तो आपने सिखाते नहीं हो. क्यों? Since 86, Ziaul Haq converted the complete education system into a radical education system. He liked that. Ab 86 till now, it is 37 years, yeah. So what have you brought now at the lower rungs of your forge? It is just 1 or 2% of the elite who go out and study and do everything. Baki are coming from here only. And you're teaching them jihad and everything, and that Sharia is the correct way to live life, and all these militants are our heroes and martyrs, and now you tell him, point a gun at him, will he fight? I'm not surprised there is a schism within the army. It will be the young versus the old. It will be, because the younger lot has been taught this only. Agar Musharraf was keen on moderate Islam, he should have modified the education, which he didn't do. He also wanted to ride the tiger, na?
Yeah, this is very interesting that they all are whiskey drinking ये वो, but मैं जो मर्जी करूं, बाकी the country should be Islamic.
हाँ, अच्छा, अब क्या हुआ है? Like they say, like I said, riding the tiger. It's very easy to ride the tiger. Try getting out of it. How do you dismount?
It will bite
It
back.
becomes very difficult. How do you dismount from the tiger? वो तो आपको खा लेगा. And that is what was Hillary Clinton saying, that you cannot, that if you keep poisonous snakes in your backyard, it is not necessary that they will bite the neighbor. It will bite you also. अब वो काटने आ गए. अब तो पूरा population ही काटने आ गया. I am not surprised that more than 60% of the population are with Imran Khan, because they know that he is a radical. He is the face of the radical. TTP का political face है वो.
So we kind of know that कि इसमें कुछ connection है. Now, what I want to ask you, connection क्या है, sir? I mean, who in his right mind? Please elaborate, sir.
Go through Islam, that when a woman divorces a husband, husband wife के बीच में divorce होता है, there is a period, if I remember correctly, it's called iddat. उसके बाद ही she can marry the second time. Now this lady predicted that if some Peer Baba predicted that if Imran Khan marries this woman, he'll become the prime minister. So he divorced his wife, she divorced her husband, और इन्होंने शादी कर दी. और what is coming out now is झूठ बोला था मौलवी को. मौलवी ने पूछा भी था कि इद्दत हो गई है, उन्होंने बोला नहीं, और उन्होंने शादी कर ली. शादी कर ली, पीएम बन गया, एक्चुअल इद्दत का पीरियड खत्म हुआ तो वापस पहुंचे मौलवी के बाद कि फिर से शादी कराओ.
And maybe they did it during Muharram or something like that.
हाँ, so now the whole issue is and she is the contact or go between him and Faiz Ahmad, the ex-ISI chief.
Let me say this out loud, sir. And for the audience, what sir is saying that Imran Khan is actually Taliban Khan,
Yeah,
who
he
is
is.
connected
How
through
can you
Mr.
become the
Taliban
chief
Khan.
minister of KP without the support of TTP, यार? आप बता दो मेरे को. How can you have any say in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa without PTI, without TTP support? If TTP has supported PTI there, it implies directly that PTI is TTP's front. And who's the head of PTI? Imran Khan. So Imran Khan is the political face of TTP. Simple QAD. Yeah.
Through
आते ही साथ
Mrs.
उसने इतने टीटीपी के मिलिटेंट्स को क्यों छोड़ दिए थे? फैज अहमद ने भी वहां जाके किनको छुड़वाया था? टीटीपी को छुड़वाया था
5,000 of them.
अफगानिस्तान में. क्यों? बाकियों को क्यों नहीं छुड़वाया? आपने केवल टीटीपी को क्यों छुड़वाया? और अब हाय तौबा कर रहे हो कि टीटीपी वाले कर रहे हैं. भाई
Yeah,
साहब.
that's a bit shocking, sir.
Yeah. So this is the situation there, and that's why I say it is Sharia versus what Musharraf had said, moderate face of Islam. मॉडरेट फेस ऑफ इस्लाम बहुत छोटा परसेंटेज बच गया है. नीचे के वाले सब काफी ज्यादा रेडिकलाइज हो चुके हैं, और आज भी जो अमन की आशा लेके जाते हैं वो दे आर इन लाला लैंड यार. और वो जाते हो तुम, दे ट्रीट यू वेल, वो तो इट इज इन द कल्चर यार. मैं अफगानिस्तान भी जाऊंगा एज अ गेस्ट, दे विल ट्रीट मी वेरी वेल.
Yeah.
That's part of culture, but that doesn't mean that he loves you or he likes you. यार कल को बोलेंगे इसका, you may be a guest, कल को मुल्ला बोलेगा उसका गर्दन काट दो, he'll cut your throat. यार
Finished.
there itself he'll cut your head off. यार. So the problem that Pakistan faces is multiple now. पैसे है नहीं, पैसे कोई दे नहीं रहा है. Each and every, I would say, the pillars of governance are fighting amongst each other, within each other and with each other. अब जुडिशरी में पहले होता था टॉक ऑफ politicization of judiciary, how the military used to make sure that the judiciary toed their line and they covered up for their coup and everything by doctrine of necessity which Ayub had given and even carried on. Today their own Dawn newspaper and in their opinion pieces they are talking of judicialization of politics. Virtually that the judiciary has become totally politicized and they are taking sides. वो एविडेंट हो रहा है when the Supreme Court Chief Justice has thrown his hat so firmly in Imran Khan's favor.
Sir,
Knowing
there is a debate there.
नहीं, whatever you may say कि भी ये है वो है, यार खाने के वांदे पड़े हैं तुम्हारे पास, पैसे कुछ नहीं है, और फिर जबरदस्ती कहो कि 90 दिन के अंदर इलेक्शन कर दो. Does he realize how much money is to be spent for elections? Everywhere you are having security threats and TTP is attacking, ceasefire खत्म हो गया है, फौज वहां जाएगा, तुम्हारा सारा सिक्योरिटी वाले will they go to look after the terrorists and other things and protect various entities, or will they provide protection cover for elections? और elections भी किधर? पंजाब एंड खैबर पख्तूनख्वा, जो गढ़ है टीटीपी का, 9 दिन के अंदर करो. एंड द लाफेबल पार्ट इज द, अभी जो निकल के आ रहा है ऑडियो बाजवा, व्हेन ही बीन टॉकिंग टू द न्यूज़पेपर पीपल, द ऑडियो इज कमिंग आउट, ही सेज कि भाई हमारे टैंकें नहीं चलती, डीजल नहीं है, एम्यूनिशन नहीं है, कुछ नहीं, हम इंडिया से लड़ नहीं सकते. और उस वीडियो को लेके जुडिशरी को बोल रहे हैं, इलेक्शन कमीशन की, देखो बाजवा ने भी ये कह दिया था तो हम इलेक्शन नहीं कर सकते इंडिया के साथ, इंडिया लड़ लेगा तो हम कैसे इलेक्शन करेंगे. दे आर नॉट इवन बॉदर्ड अबाउट पैसे का. क्या आम आदमी के लिए पैसे कहां से आएंगे? द जुडिशरी इज हेलबेंट कि मैंने इलेक्शन करके इमरान को लाना है, बिकॉज आज होगा तो मोर देन 60% आर सपोर्टिंग. And
61% was said by the Gallup polls only.
yeah, and the other side is hell bent कि इसको आना नहीं है तो elections delay करो,
जिस मर्जी तरह से.
Okay. Now the problem is, how do you fight these people? With whom? How do you break this mindset of radicalization which is coming in? So when you said कि भाई, is it Talibanization of Pakistan? It's not a question of if. If Imran Khan comes in, it's when. It's when. Bhai, if the militants are supporting you and they bring you up there, they're going to ask the pound of flesh. Sharia rule. And for the first time ever, the establishment, which was the strength of holding the fragments of Pakistan together, itself is split. How does the Pakistan army, how does Munir handle this? I don't think he understands how to handle this. And Bajwa, even after he has retired, is still there trying to pull strings.
Yep.
He also doesn't know how to go about doing it. But he feels, and they all feel that India will attack. Right? They will feel. Because this is exactly what they would have done if they found India was in a turmoil. Like they did in 65. They felt कि India weak है, अभी सब कुछ खत्म है, अभी लड़ लो. So that's why they say now the world is a mirror. What it means is, the way you think, that is how you will look at the world. That this is how they are going to react. And so it's not surprising that they feel that India will attack. But it is in India's interests, I feel, that we should not permit Imran Khan to come on the other side of Indus. Not in our interest.
Really, sir? There are lots of people in India who are saying Imran Khan को तो आना चाहिए.
No. Imran Khan, I will stand by my verdict that Imran is a dumb person. He has no clue. Yes, he talks well. उसको theme वगैरह दे दो, he will talk well to motivate people. So to say that he is a great leader because he won the World Cup, sorry. No. He is not. He is right throughout. His name has always been, since Oxford days, Im the Dim. So you have to worry who's behind him. So the next face behind him is Bushra Bibi. Who's behind her? Faizu Bhai. Who's behind him? TTP. Who's behind TTP? Al-Qaeda and Taliban. Would you want them on your doorstep? Would you want Sharia on your doorstep? So
and that's the problem with the rhetoric. Yeah,
and
that's the problem with the rhetoric. So we're not understanding that we get happy in India that Pakistan is going down the tube and this and that. But
Nuclear.
we need to understand till the time there is no. I mean, you and I have covered this in a beautiful video that
Yeah.
got people thinking about this in a very different sense. We spoke about, yeah, this might happen, but there are loads of dangers which are there in this particular thing. Uh, why is it that we've not been able to understand that this TTP business is real and it's not just some Gutawa four chaps with a
हम
flag?
हम इसलिए गलत होते हैं because you look at all these my opinion is that we look at all these militants as separate entities. They are not. They are part of one complete umbrella or rubric. And in this region, for India, each one of them, in their own little way or whatever they can, is fighting for Ghazwa-e Hind. So, would you like the proponents of Ghazwa-e Hind to come right onto your border and control that whole tract of land and have nuclear weapons? So, we have to look at what can be done quietly in the background to keep him at bay and keep him towards the west of Indus.
Let me ask you this, sir. There are
Yeah,
two countries which border Pakistan which would want the TTP to be uh, in control. And I won't normally say that these two countries have similar interests, but India and China, both ways. Uh, Somewhere down the line, I
China
feel that
also doesn't want TTP to take
yeah,
control of
yeah.
Pakistan.
So there is a consensus between India and China with regards that. Let's
That's
take
why I
it for a
said no,
moment.
quietly. I always love what the Soviets would do, reflexive control. So let the Chinese take the front here, but it will be in our interest if he stays to the west. Because if he stays to the west, whichever way you go, because what will happen is that Baluch, I don't know, would be comfortable if TTP comes to power in Pakistan. Though BLA has given support to the TTP at present, will they be happy? How much will they be happy?
Only if their lands are free, then they'll be happy.
Yeah, but will TTP free their lands? After all the resources for Pakistan comes from there.
Comes from there.
So it's an issue. And what happens to Gilgit Baltistan? What happens to the balance of POK? It's a whichever way it be, even if he comes in with a truncated sort of Pakistan or whatever Pakistan, they have nuclear weapons.
Mm.
They have nuclear weapons.
And the country that is supposed to be monitoring that is too busy in Ukraine right now.
Yeah. No, no. Monitoring kya? That country was looking the other way and winking and when all this was going on. Straight away involved in nuclearizing Pakistan because at that time they were very keen to balance India since India had Soviet support. So Churchill always used to say now that the Americans are not statesmen.
Let me present you an argument, sir.
Yeah,
The country today is not a viable entity. A lot of people talk about Pakistan needs to do this, and I've heard a lot of Indian analysts saying they need to do this to kind of get their act back in place, this, that, and the other. I am of the opinion, and I'd respectfully disagree with a lot of these very senior analysts that there is no way that this country can get its act back and get straightened up. It's not going to happen.
I'll interrupt. Act back. They never had an act.
It's not going to
Like I
happen.
said right at the beginning, they rented themselves out.
Yeah.
Full stop. So
So now that that
they
rent
were,
factor is
see,
gone,
they were a very feudal society. They still are a feudal society. So that feudalism of, you could say, the 19th, 20th century has not gone from Pakistan. They've done nothing. वो हाईवेज वाईवेज बना दिए हैं, बट द हाईवेज डजंट मेक अ सोसाइटी ना यार. हाईवेज डोंट मेक अ कंट्री ना.
वो
रोड्स ही
तो
बने हैं.
हाँ.
बाकी तो रेल तो जो अंग्रेज छोड़ गए वही है. थोड़ा बहुता जो बन गया, वो थोड़ा बहुता जो बनाया इन्होंने, बस वही है, और कुछ तो है ही नहीं. बट where do you have a proper economic structure if you're only living on loan? आपने क्या बनाया है अंदर कि मैं ये बनाऊंगा और ये बेचूंगा और दिस इज हाउ आई विल हैव माय डेवलपमेंट गोल्स? देयर इज नथिंग ना. सो व्हाट, यस, बड़े खुश हुए कि भाई हमको आई थिंक लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप और लास्ट टू लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप दे मेड, लास्ट टू लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप दे मेड द हैंड स्टिच्ड
Hmm.
वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल के लिए हैंड स्टिच फुटबॉल्स बन के गए थे. वो थोड़े बहुत बने थे. वर्ल्ड हैज मूव्ड ऑन. आई थिंक 2 वर्ल्ड कप्स अगो.
Two World
नाउ
Cups.
दे आर मेकिंग फुटबॉल which has embedded within the leather chips, which can tell you and give you everything कि किसने कितने पावर से, कितने एंगल से और कितने स्पिन से बॉल मारा था. किधर है तुम्हारे पास? तुम हाथ से बनाते हुए. वो तो अभी एम्बेडेड चिप्स वगैरह के साथ बात कर रहे हैं. I saw those World Cup matches, 2-3 of them, where it would tell you, जैसे अपने इसका नहीं दिखाते हैं आप आईपीएल वगैरह में एंड वर्ल्ड कप, अपने क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप में कितना लंबा मारा, कितने ताकत से मारा, बैट के अंदर लग गया है वो, कितने ताकत से मारा, कितने दूर गया, ये वो फुटबॉल में आजकल दिखा रहे हैं कि भाई कितने स्पीड से बॉल गया, किस एंगल से गया, कितना स्पिन मार के दिया. वेयर आर यू टुडे? नथिंग. आप बेचते क्या हो? व्हाट इज इट दैट यू कैन? Bangladesh came away from you. At least they have a garment industry to speak of.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is,
Packaging
at
and
least they
garment
have a
process.
good garment industry going, which goes abroad. आपके पास क्या है? हाँ, बोल देते हो कि बस उनके पास तो गारमेंट है. चलो ठीक है, एक है, गारमेंट है. तुम्हारे पास क्या है? तुम्हारे पास तो वो भी नहीं है. और सबसे ज्यादा कॉटन उगाते थे between the two Pakistans. West used to be a big producer of cotton. What has happened? Cotton produce कर लेते हो, कपड़े नहीं बना सकते.
Especially Punjab area and all that, yes, sir.
Yeah. You could have had a garment industry going. Where is it?
They used to, sir. As a matter of fact, Punjabi, Pakistani bed sheets and bed linen and all that used to be very famous at one time, sir.
Yeah,
And I've
but it's
kind of
all gone now.
in my original industry, I have seen this stuff because they used to do these expos and all that stuff. I've actually seen this in some fantastic quality. You wonder, where are they getting all this stuff from? And even if you travel to Dubai, and I'm talking about 5-6 years ago, they had these Pakistani linen shops, which I don't know if they're still alive or not.
खत्म हो
But
गया ना.
yeah,
See,
they wanted to import cotton from India and they went and took it from Xinjiang.
धीरे 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 धीरे
Yeah,
क्या हुआ है? Once you have started teaching all these, you brought in Sharia even in, like I was listening to this guy ना, that Major साहब जिसके against अभी ISI पड़
Adil
गया
Raja.
था, आदिल राजा. He says he went into the management, management वाला था और some certification course in Lahore University, the technology university. It's supposed to be Pakistan's best, and the HOD was Hafiz Saeed. Can you? Hafiz Saeed was HOD. कहता उसको क्या आता है? He was overseeing that whatever is taught as per Sharia. तब क्या बताओगे तुम उन लोगों को यार, जो शरिया को लेके बैठे हुए हैं कि शरिया के मुताबिक ही सिखलाई होनी चाहिए. So there is no science, there is no nothing coming in.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, I was shocked. Hafiz Saeed was the HOD there. Yeah,
of what? A bomb making class?
he was there to oversee that everything is taught as per Sharia.
It's like a political or religious commissar, if I may.
Yeah, the religious commissar, equivalent to the political commissars. अब इस तरह से आप सिखाओगे तो क्या इंडस्ट्री रहेगा तुम्हारा यार.
So,
So, but
I mean,
the other aspect is people are running away.
yeah, that's it.
Every month, at least till March, up 2 lakh people were going out. And a lot of them were going to the Middle East. Some of them were going through Turkey. वहाँ तो वो बोट वगैरह सिंक होके अभी वो रूट थोड़ा बंद है. Otherwise, one of the reports says that they are weathering the storm, going through Iran into Turkey, and then from there either hitting Greece via Cyprus or going in via the southern Europe and into Europe.
Wow.
And from there going to US, Canada, all these countries, they're just running away. The youth is just running away. So what, and these are the people who are not keen to stay, most of them I would say, not keen to stay radicalized. Unless they go there to those places and get radicalized, that's a different issue. But he's going out for job. Now, if that be the case, then people who are left behind are only the radicals. तो उनका तो मिनिस्टर ही बोलता है कि हमें तो अल्लाह ने बनाया है, अल्लाह विल लुक आफ्टर अस. This is your finance minister making a public announcement, अल्लाह ने बनाया है, Allah will look after us.
The question that I mean, you've kind of added to the scenario I was building, sir. That here is now a country which is in a place. Everybody says भाई ये एडवाइस दे देंगे तो पाकिस्तान सीधा हो जाएगा. अब आपने ये बता दिया कि वो सीधा तो हो नहीं सकता.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है. Now it is just a matter of time as to where Pakistan finally ends up. Does it end up in the box cart of history, or does it end up the way it is, just chugs along and China gives it something, this guy gives it something, this guy gives it something?
Why will China give it? आपको चाइनीज के बंदे को पकड़ लिया अंदर फॉर ब्लास्फेमी यार. उनके बिजनेसेस बंद कर रहे हो कि भाई हम सिक्योरिटी नहीं दे सकते. Why will China give you anything now? आप ये बता दो मेरे को.
Are you saying there's going to be a divorce?
डिवोर्स तो नहीं होगा, बट सेपरेशन हो जाएगा for some time, because otherwise they are very keen on Gwadar, na? But how do you reach Gwadar?
How do you reach it? It has to go through that border Imran Khan country.
Yeah. तो कैसे जाओगे? So the people may say what they have to say because they have a soft corner of a Pakistan. ऐसा कर ले, वैसा कर ले. अरे जिंदगी में अभी तक उसने ऐसा वैसा किया नहीं है. पूरी एजुकेशन सिस्टम की वाट लगा दी है. जो बंदे निकल के आ रहे हैं उनको कोई समझ में आता नहीं है. जब लेके आ रहा था ये बंदे को, हु वाज अ वेरी रिनाउंड इकोनॉमिस्ट इंटरनेशनली, उसको जूते मार के निकाल दिए कि इसको नहीं रख सकते क्योंकि ये अहमदिया है. हाउ विल यू लिव लाइक दिस यार?
मिफ्ता इस्माइल.
या हाउ विल यू लिव लाइक दिस कि भाई ये अहमदिया है, ये नहीं आ सकता. वो दैट मीन्स where will you go?
That's what I'm saying. So see, all countries, I mean, including China, there are voices within China and some very senior voices who come out and say, what you guys are doing is stupid. Don't do this. You're going to be in trouble.
नहीं, चाइना में स्ट्रक्चर तो है ना यार, इकोनॉमिक. व्हाट यू मे हैव प्रॉब्लम्स विद व्हाटएवर काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर दे हैव.
Exactly what I'm saying.
तो बट है तो इसके पास क्या है?
So how is he surviving, sir? फिर ये कैसे चल रहा है आगे? Any other country by now would have.
लोन पे चल रहा है
नहीं
और
नहीं, वो
ब्लैक
ठीक है
मनी
सर.
पे चल रहा है, अभी ड्रग मनी पे चल रहा है. आई कैन स्ट्रेच माई नेक आउट एंड से ये तो ड्रग मनी पे सरवाइव कर रहा है, ब्लैक मार्केट पे सरवाइव कर रहा है. अब उसका बिटवीन अफगानिस्तान एंड पाकिस्तान तो थ्राइविंग ब्लैक मार्केट चल रहा है यार, वो बंद थोड़ी हुआ है. दैट इज हाउ ही इज. बट ऑफिशियली in the next 3 years, he requires, as per their own economists who write, Praveed Boy
77
and
billion.
others, $77 billion are needed to be paid in interest. Interest. It's not the principal. Interest. And almost about 60 or 70% of this money is going to China and Saudi Arabia. In that order of priority is due to them. किधर से लाओगे यार? 1 बिलियन 2 बिलियन की बात कर रहे हो, दैट्स चिकन फीड यार, चिल्लर है. व्हाट इवन द IMF चलो पूरा दे देता है 20 बिलियन, दैट इज चिकन फीड यार. 77 बिलियन तो इंटरेस्ट ही देने, बचा क्या उसके पास?
That's 2 billion a month he has to pay, sir. Starting
क्या?
next month.
Where
नहीं,
has he
starting
got
this
the
month.
money? He doesn't have. So the biggest worry is what kind of tracts of land will be bought away, taken away by China. China doesn't mind all these, na. A portion leke, like he did with Hamban Tota. 8 बिलियन देना था, आई थिंक 1.5 या 2 बिलियन के लिए हम्बन टोटा फॉर 99 ईयर्स करके ले लिया उसने. विच ऑल ट्रैक्ट्स ऑफ लैंड इज ही गोइंग टू टेक? हम बात कर रहे हैं कि गिलगिट बाल्टिस्तान में हम वॉक इन कर लेंगे, बट विल ही टेक इट अवे फ्रॉम हिम? देन व्हाट हैपेंस? दे आर ऑलरेडी टॉकिंग ऑफ देम टेकिंग लैंड along the Indus.
45,000 square
Yeah, that is.
acres has been given.
पहले इसका 2015 में आया था डॉन में, the second phase of CPEC 2, where all these tracts of land they were going to take for as special economic zones and food parks. Food parks, we know what it is. Food parks means that he is going to grow food for China. And in that they say their food experts and all will come. So their food experts will come to teach them how to grow what is required by the Chinese, because China is not food secure, no? It is food dependent. It has to import a lot of food.
Which again, I mean, I'm circulating to the same thing back again, sir, because the biggest question I ask myself when I look at Pakistan, it's great to discuss. It's amazing to discuss. It's amazing to learn, because it's a country that, I mean, I say this about the Ukraine war. Every week there's something new to discuss. And Pakistan is pretty much every day there's something new to discuss. But so what, I mean, we've discussed, you've shown us what the Western plan is, that they want idealized to Colonel Rolf Peters plan, and we've discussed that entire thing. And I think most of the people that are watching here today have also known that, been through that presentation. Now, how do we equate what we saw there to what we are seeing today, and where it will, I mean, how does what we are seeing today go to that point, sir? How does it happen? What will be the thing that Pakistan will need for it to literally tuck?
See, firstly, पाकिस्तान का मैं आज के तारीख में एज अ क्रूड स्टेटमेंट ने ना अगाड़ा है ना पिछाड़ा है. It has no history before 47. You can concoct whatever. It has no history before 47, because prior to 47 it was part of Bharat. Its history is interlinked with Hindustan. You have tried to create your own history, trying to interlink it with Arabs and Turks and all. There is no history. So you have suddenly brought yourself into being on a tract of land which the people who are controlling it never wanted it to be formed in the first place. The Punjabi Musalman never wanted Pakistan. Muslim League never won there, ever, if you please. This was a creation made in UP and Bihar, who are unwanted out there and are termed as muhajirs. So just look at the quirk of what was made out there. Primarily because India was not ready to permit either the US or the UK to continue with any boots on ground. They wanted something to counter USSR. So from the day of his birth, he has been a rental state. Now, as a rental state, is he ready to cut himself up and give it up to Chinese? That he has to take a call. And that I don't think he will permit. The people, while the elite may still say yes, the rest will not accept it lying down.
The
Because
Janta.
they're far too radicalized to accept that this can happen. Because China is not Ummah.
That
Xinjiang is
literally,
Ummah.
I don't know how you're bringing it this way, sir, because मैंने last question यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है about the radicalization. So please continue, and you brought it right to the point where I
It's
wanted to
quite
ask you.
radicalized. Now, all these people who are talking of कि भाई हाँ अमन की आशा भाईचारा, it's all la la land. There is no भाईचारा left. And evidence, like I said, it was very clear as far back as 2008 when Kasab was caught. What did his mother say?
ठीक है
So
क्या
what if he has gone and killed some people? At least I have food on my table. They are already into that he's gone and killed the kafir. काफिरों को मारने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मेरे घर पे खाना आ रहा है. So you got to remember how far the society has moved away from what it was in 47. Maybe 47, 50, 55, 60, I can agree that yeah, it was there. But ever since the deep radicalization started since the 80s, just forget it. Now, hoping कि कोई अमन की आशा ये वो and all is out of question. You got to be very up and about and very careful of what do you want, and that's why I said you have to make use of every entity that is there, including China. This is one area where our interests will converge.
Yes, sir. The Chinese won't want these cohorts to
No,
be entering into. I mean,
no,
that's where my last question comes to. Radicalization, to my mind, is going to make Pakistan survive, sir.
it can't.
And let me present my argument.
Radicalization, religion has never been a binding factor. No?
No, no, it's
If
not, sir.
religion was a binding factor, why did Bangladesh break away? Why is
Absolutely,
Balochistan fighting for independence? वो भी तो they may be as radical as these people here. They are
you're
same
absolutely
religion, but they
correct.
are fighting.
So here is my argument. My argument is radicalization will keep Pakistan together because radicalization and the prevention of radicalization spreading into other areas will keep money inside Pakistan for them to तुम यार इनको पकड़ के रखो, ये take some money.
No, पैसे नहीं आएंगे. वेस्ट क्यों पैसा देगा?
Best thing, China, Saudi.
सऊदी क्यों देने लगा यार? अभी तो he himself knows that how long will he survive on petrodollars? He wants to diversify. UAE wants to diversify. They're looking at how to make use of whatever resources they have to go into green energy and do something else. They can't now survive. They know, yeah, it's just a matter of time. So their focus is how to diversify their economy. Why will he give money? देना होता तो अभी तक दे नहीं देता.
थोड़ा trickle
After
में मिल रहा है
Imran Khan
सर.
was sacked, after see,
Rollovers, not
look at
money.
the way Imran Khan has behaved with them यार. और
Terrible.
उसको चपेट लग गई थी जब उसका जहाज वापस मंगवा लिया था. So that's the whole issue, ना. भीख भी मांगते हो और दादागिरी भी करते हो कि साले हमें भिखमंगे मत समझो। यार, ऐसा कौन सा देश है? कैन यू नेम मी अ कंट्री इन द होल वर्ल्ड who has gone over 20 times to the IMF begging for money? Yeah? He give me money to run my country. 23, this is the 24th or 25th time they have gone. Yeah,
23rd time, sir. 23rd time.
yeah. Which country has gone? Yeah. तो भीख मांगने में शर्म ही नहीं है उनको, और उनको पता है कि मैंने पैसे देने नहीं है, because that is how he has been living all his life na? Not giving the money, taking from somebody else and giving it back, and बाकी कुछ खा लिया, कुछ कर लिया, हो गया.
You remember I shared that video, no? This Maulvi is screaming in the masjid and he's saying that दुनिया को बोल दो पैसे हम देंगे जब हमारे पास होंगे, सूद वूद कुछ नहीं दे रहे हम,
बिल्कुल.
सूद मांगोगे तो ऑर्डर ऑफर दिखाते हैं.
No, you tell me, yaar.
I mean, we laugh at that, but to me, it's not a laughing matter.
That is giving the mentality of a person. And today it's the Maulvis who run the roost. But if these people are talking like this, and the other person telling that if you have no money, start selling your weapons to somebody else and take money from them.
That's why I think Saudi will kind of do something, sir, because Saudi wants the weapons, na? Nahin?
But without the nod from US, difficult.
Difficult. Na?
Because उनके पैसे सारे वहाँ है ना, और वो डर लगा है. They have shown what they will do, what they did with the oligarchs of the Russians and Russian money. So
Saudis have backed off from Hamas. That's their.
Palestine president को आने दिया. Hamas तो US would have read the riot act. वीजा ही नहीं दिया यार.
I know.
Public
invitation के बाद वीजा नहीं.
सब कुछ हो गया in principle. They sent for visa. They refused the visa. And the visa was being given in the garb of going to Mecca.
Mecca, yeah.
Right? So the US asked, कब से शिया मक्का जाने लगे? इसको उल्लू बना रहे हो.
ये है यूएस में, ये दम है. ठीक है, तू खेल ले बेटा.
ऐसे सारे वही है ना.
मेरे को कारपेट खींचना होगा, मैं बताता हूँ.
That is the hold the US has on the fractured establishment that Pakistan has. इनके सारे पैसे वहां है ना. It's all in dollars. तो फ्रीज कर देगा यूएस इनका अकाउंट.
Sir, everybody, I mean, before I get into the questions, everybody says, यार पाकिस्तान का क्या होने वाला है. मैं बताता हूँ क्या होने वाला है. ये हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. What you brought out today, and I'm saying this with all humility, sir, is that no one knows क्या होने वाला है इस जगह का.
Very dangerous situation.
It's a dangerous.
And you cannot be reactive. You need to be proactive to protect yourself. And I underline again that this is one area where I think our interest and Chinese interests overlap.
Guys, this is something I wanted to bring out by this discussion, and sir has brought it out very well, that we keep laughing in Pakistan, no problem. There's no issues. But remember, Pakistan has a huge danger factor. We pray for the breakup. I mean, I'm for the factor. Sir has brought out this thing, and I not just support it, I stand by what was mentioned. But a sudden explosive breakup.
Sudden explosive breakup is not in the interest of people in the region.
Not in the interest of us, not in the interest of China. Not that I love China or anything like that. But
today I got hold of a particular video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this chap has got it. So I don't know the veracity of that video. There is a discussion going on, and it's a confidential discussion going on in US Congress on biological weapons. And they have labs in Africa, Ukraine, and they have some labs in Pakistan also.
4 of them, yes, sir.
And that chap was talking, underlining what Bill Gates had said some years ago, that the world population is too much and they need to reduce it by 3 billion. And this man is saying they are openly targeting the non productive countries to reduce the world population. Targeted leaks to ensure reduction of population.
I've heard the WEF talking about that, but
This is the video. But like I said, I have no, it's a confidential video. How has it come out? How has he's used it to show that this is a discussion with names. With names. Who's sitting where and who's talking. Openly saying, so will that happen? Will the Americans suddenly use their labs to, if Pakistan is going the Sharia way, to target people of Pakistan? Because they need India desperately. It's dangerous.
very dangerous.
Whichever way it goes, it's dangerous. We have seen it. What the leak, whether intentional or unintentional, from Wuhan did.
Mhm.
How many
Personally,
millions
us.
of how many millions of people have died?
Personally, us, sir. I mean,
Yeah.
I was locked in for 20 days. This is in the first phase. They didn't let you out after 5 days.
I was
14.
locked in for 14 days. या पूरा 15वें दिन टेस्ट करा के पॉजिटिव जब आया मेरे को मेरे आरोग्य सेतु में, then only I could come out
Yeah.
and I have to give it to the society. A shot,
No.
a
So I was in
screenshot
for
of आरोग्य सेतु showing it green.
yeah,
तभी घर के
10 days
सामने से
plus
रिपोर्ट निकला.
yeah, plus 7 days of home quarantine after that.
नहीं, I didn't have 7 days.
So I was in those days, sir. So you can
Those days,
imagine the kind of
initial
yeah,
phase.
and which just tells you, and some days when I think about it, the kind of aggravation one went through during those 10-15 days is terrible.
Yeah, because see, a biological weapon is such that you never know where it will spread, how it will spread. अभी बोल रहे हैं वो द यूएस एंड ऑल, उनका अब निकाल के बोल रहे हैं रिपोर्ट कि नहीं, इट केम आउट August September, and
Yeah,
I remembered that in February 2021 Ananta Aspen and CCAS के साथ we had a discussion and I had mentioned August September में leak हुआ है, because it takes about 2 months for you to assess a pattern, medical pattern. And
yeah,
in November, they have written that there is an epidemic. That means go back about 2 months. That means around August, September, ये शुरू हो गया. August, September 2019. And the other dead giveaway was that they knew it is the trade treaty that they signed with US in December 2019 had a clause of
yeah.
this thing, अपना biological threat also, epidemic, pandemic. You never use the word pandemic in any
Never,
treaty. This was one
never.
treaty only which used the word pandemic.
Yeah,
That if a pandemic happens, there will not be. That means they knew that a pandemic was coming.
coming.
So उसी तरह से है. Any of these labs, if they do something, even if they do it, we are next door यार. नेक्स्ट डोर है. वो इतना स्मगलिंग होता है अक्रॉस, वो तो हथियार, ड्रग्स, पता नहीं क्या क्या स्मगल करके निकाल के लाते हैं यार. किसके साथ क्या आ जाए. it's a you got to be careful. It's a threat in being which is evolving day by day.
Let's get into the questions. You've kind of scared me, and I'm sure a lot of the audience as well.
It is. It is.
Guys, there's a good number of us watching. 280 plus people are watching us. Request all of you to please like this video. My request, we've got
Yeah, and I will just add one thing. I didn't talk of bureaucracy at all because in all this game of things, the Pak bureaucracy is missing in action.
there are
Today,
some questions. I thought I'll cover it in that, but
today it is the politicians with the. It is basically the military, the legislature, and the judiciary. उन्हीं के बीच में चल रहा है जो कुछ चल रहा है स्यापा और उन्हीं के अंदर भी स्यापा चल रहा है.
आपस में भी. So let's get into this thing. Naveen, thanks so much for your contribution. General sir, for your previous comment on how Chinese draw strategic parallels from Weiqi, in that context, can we look at Pakistan as China's KO threat?
No, ये तो वेची गेम के बाहर हो गया. KO threat is if they get surrounded by other powers. That I have played a coin, and my coin and his coins are in such a way that I will keep repeating the same. जैसे चेस में होता था ना, रिपीट चेक. इधर गया मैं फिर चेक दिया, इधर गया मैंने फिर चेक दिया, उधर जाओ मैंने फिर चेक दिया. को is that. This is not a को. This is out of the Weiqi syllabus. This is an existential threat for them also. Because if Sharia comes here, then they have Sharia on the border with Xinjiang. And no, they won't be happy. एक फ्लैंक में छोटे से बॉर्डर के साथ तो वखान कॉरिडोर के साथ है, but Wakhan corridor is not that inhabited. The moment they have somebody right up to Punjab Pass, it becomes a major issue.
Anikesh says, many have speculated that there is a serious rift in the army with an influential pro-Imran lobby. Even retired veterans are part of this lobby. What is the capacity of chaos that this lobby can create? Anikesh sir has added the TTP into this. So
you are witnessing what is going on here. Is it not a chaos enough? कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. आप what exactly is a chaos? There is a lack of decision making on anything. Are any decisions being taken in favor of the common man? Nothing. आज लड़ाई ये हो रहा है इलेक्शंस होना है कि नहीं होना है. कॉमन मैन जिसको खाने की वाट लगी हुई है, where they have stampede when they give out free rations, there is no bijli, there is nothing to eat, फ्लड सारे हो गए, अभी बुआई के लिए बीज नहीं है, there is nothing available. What is he going to do? What is the common man going to do? Nobody is thinking on those lines. No? So it's already a chaos. एक काफी पहले, I think 2008 or 2009, Ahmad Rashid had written a book about Pakistan, Descent into Chaos. 2000s में लिखा था. Beginning of, I think around 2006 or 2009, he had written about descent into chaos. Now it had descended into chaos. It's total chaos. And you're right. Veterans are also split. The army was the strength which was holding the whatever was there in left in Western Pakistan post 71. Army was something which was holding it together. For their own interest, whatever interest, at least it was holding it together. अब तो वही टूट रहा है ना. It won't take long when the non-Punjabis will turn against Punjabis. कि भी बहुत दादागिरी कर ली तुमने. तुम इतने से पिद्दे से प्रोविंस में हो, बाकी प्रोविंसेस को आप घास नहीं डालते हो. So it's dangerous. It's a very dangerous situation. Then who holds this country together and what happens? And that is the ideal for the radicals to take charge and bring in Sharia.
US threat assessment warned that India might take punitive action against any real perceived provocation by Pakistan, given that deep state's unwillingness to hold elections. can they take a minor misadventure against India? How can we avoid getting sucked into Pakistan's domestic politics? Interestingly, what happened in Poonch is it somewhere connected because there are loads of reports of the army becoming fully active. Their radars are fully active. They've moved their aircraft back. They've
डर गए ना कि स्ट्राइक कर देगा इंडिया बिकॉज दिस हैज हैपेंड, little realizing that you'll do it at a place and time of your own choosing. So how long will he be able to keep them? पैसे है नहीं. That is number one. Why should I attack? Like I said, for him, we always say world is a mirror. So he sees that in what India will do is exactly what he would have done himself. So that reflects back कि India might do this. He's putting his own template onto India. India has never ever attacked Pakistan. Yeah? आज की तारीख तक have you attacked Pakistan? No.
you struck them, but you've not attacked them. Yeah,
ये तो छोटा मोटा आपने वो आपके स्ट्राइक किए वो that is different.
that's
You
different.
never attacked. You never started a war, yeah. So the US threat assessment, of course, he wants everybody to fight now. When everybody starts fighting, then military industrial complex को उसको पैसे मिलने लगेंगे यार. So he wants you to get involved. वो थ्रेट असेसमेंट दे रहा है, ये हो जाए वो हो जाए, लड़ाई लड़ लो. अब चाइना विल अटैक ताइवान इन 2025. सब लड़ने लगेंगे तो लीडिंग इकोनॉमीज हु आर देयर एट द मोमेंट ऑल गोज डाउन एंड द मिलिट्री इंडस्ट्रियल कॉम्प्लेक्स गेट्स द मनी. व्हाई शुड आई अटैक यार? वो तो आपस में लड़ कट मरेंगे. हमें कुछ करना है तो चाइना के साथ मिलो, रिफ्लेक्सिव कंट्रोल के थ्रू उसके अंदर कराते रहो कुछ ना कुछ, तोड़ दो. And make sure that Imran Khan stays to the west, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and then sow the seed in them. Pakistan chhod yaar, you become the prime minister of Afghanistan. Pathan hai tu.
Jalandhar ka Pathan hai, sir.
अरे पठान है तो वहां जा.
I mean, I have
बन
nothing
जा वहां पे
against
प्राइम मिनिस्टर.
I have nothing against people from Jalandhar. I personally belong to that area, but Jalandhar doesn't have Pathans.
Okay, but he's a Khan, he's a Pathan. So भेज दो वहां पे और बोलो कि यू बिकम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर देयर एंड इंडस के वेस्ट उस तरफ दे दो. एटलीस्ट यू हैव अ बफर. We have to now think like the British buffer.
Or the Chinese. Keep the barbarians away.
Yeah.
Gaurav says, Kautilya said a king should give his maximum time to the economy. With the economy, army can be maintained and earth can be won. Pakistan generals forgot the economy, but made plans to win neighbors and the earth.
That is the whole problem with Pakistan now. See, I am an army man. I am a general from the army. घंटा मेरे को कुछ आता है economy के बारे में, basics आता है. If you make me a finance minister, what the hell can I do, यार? I don't know macroeconomics or microeconomics. I don't know anything about fiscal policies and monetary policies, how to make them, what to do. That has been the bane of Pakistan. Na? People say कि नहीं इतने साल है, और नहीं यार. Ever since Liaquat Ali was murdered, Pakistan has been controlled directly or through puppet strings by their military. Iskandar Ayub Khan was the dada पीछे, and then तो उसने इस्कंदर मिर्जा को फेंक के. By the way, Iskandar Mirza was originally a cavalry officer from my parent unit. 10 साल he has served there, and then he became a political officer. Okay, and he served throughout in Northwest Frontier Province for most of his times, and he has been the president of Pakistan. And then Ayub Khan sacked him, and thereafter rest is history. Yeah. Doctrine of necessity, and it has carried on. So, economy, his Arthashastra says very well, the king, the ruler has to look after the economy. The bane of Pakistan is the ruler is the army. क्या इकोनॉमी के बारे में मालूम होगा उनको? हालांकि देर फौजी फाउंडेशन, दे हैव गॉट एक्सपर्ट इकोनॉमिस्ट्स एंड chartered accountants and MBA graduates and other things to make sure that it is the biggest industry in Pakistan. वो उनके जेब में जाता है ना. देश चलाना कैसे चलाओगे?
Does a government and security official are the government and security officials not aware of the Quranic concept of war? If they know, why don't they call it out and create some policy towards it?
काफी इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन, डिसर्टेशन, प्रेजेंटेशन हम अपने इसमें कर चुके हैं, कुरानी कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ.
Yeah. There
So you
is a
do
whole lot of understanding.
all three services
Yeah.
do that, and you discuss it in detail what exactly it is. I had just got commissioned when this book was published, and by the time I finished I got commissioned in 78 December 79 में ये book आया था. Finished the bios and came back in around December 79, July to December 79 हमारा bios हुआ था. I came back to the unit, this book was there, and that was the first time हमारा every Saturday used to be officers day, where JCOs used to run the regiment and the officers would be given the topic and you had to give a presentation. So we have had presentations since then, from when the book was published.
The misconception is just because we don't come out and talk about it.
क्यों बोलना है यार उसको कि हमें पता है तुम क्या करने वाले हो?
Exactly.
Why should I tell him?
Naveen, thanks so much. He says, General Sir, the struggle between the bourgeois deep state, army, PDM leaders, and some judges, and the Talibani proletariat. Naveen, let me just say this. You've organized the Pakistani system in a way that I don't think the Pakistanis themselves know. So, the PTI and its base. Are there any foreign powers that want PTI in power?
There are no foreign powers looking at it, thanks to the Ukraine war. निकल के गए हैं वो 15 अगस्त को 2021 को अफगानिस्तान से, और फरवरी में लड़ाई लग गई है यार. So the whole attention of all these powers that be is with Ukraine. यहाँ तो they are least interested, लड़ मड़े कटे जो करे. See, they used Pakistan, and Pakistan made use of that, like I said initially, as a, like a lot of other speakers and writers on Pakistan have called it a rentier state. So I was just explaining what is a rentier state. Means he has rented himself out.
Yeah.
So it's a mercenary state. कि भाई मैं आपको सब मदद कर दूंगा, whatever I have, I will help you, you give me money. तो अपना कुछ इकोनॉमी उसने बनाया नहीं. So now the foreign powers are least interested here now. They're least interested in this region because Afghanistan is the way it is. Iran sanctions में है. Central Asia से अगर उसको कुछ निकालना है तो the only route is going through Caspian and Turkey. Azerbaijan, Turkey, वही route है. So how are they interested in either Afghanistan or Pakistan?
True.
They're not interested. Because Pakistan को आना है, Central Asia has to come through Afghanistan. If you have left Afghanistan to themselves कि लड़ो मरो कटो जो करना है कर लो.
पाकिस्तान ये पकड़ो weapons इससे करो.
हाँ?
ये पकड़ो weapons जो मैं छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ.
हाँ, weapons छोड़ के नहीं है. 40 बिलियन का weapon, आपस में लड़ मरो कटो जो करना है कर लो. हमें उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. Because Tbilisi, Baku, Kehan, the TBC pipeline is already through now.
Yeah.
They're not interested. Tapi is a no-go. So, जब तक ईरान में regime change नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. वो तो clear है. As long as the mullahs are in power in Iran, ईरान से sanction हटने वाला नहीं है. हटेगा.
Yeah.
तो खत्म.
There as it is next on the menu. So.
हाँ, so नहीं, निकले नहीं निकले because Iran is actually facing tough issues because of the sanctions which has gone for so long. और अगर न्यूक्लियर हो भी जाता है तो डजंट मेक अ डिफरेंस टू अमेरिका यार, वो काफी दूर है. America has made a noise against North Korea only because they made missiles which could reach America.
Yeah.
As long as they
So
didn't have missiles reaching North America, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा.
Rahul says, even though Pakistan is in a mess, but they never give up cross-border terrorism. Then why India never uses its fault lines in Pakistan to teach them a lesson? IAF base in Central Asia or is for Afghan threats?
Okay, Rahul, two, three things. Cross border terrorism has got nothing to do with any chaos. Chaos or no chaos, that will carry on. So, that we have to be aware of, that it will happen. And we have to keep our guard up. For one successful ambush, you never know how many ambushes have been thwarted. So, that is number one. Number two, you don't have any base per se where IAF is keeping aircrafts. It's not in Central Asia, it's in Tajikistan, and
Oh,
it's a airfield next to the capital city Dushanbe at a place called Aini. मेरे टेन्योर में एक्टिवेट किया था पूरा. बीआरओ के बंदे आए थे, सारा कुछ
फखरोर
बना.
कहाँ है सर फिर?
Pardon?
फखरोर कहाँ है?
No, Farkhor is much further south,
Okay.
closer to the border with Afghanistan. That used to be our hospital, and
Correct.
Russians used to run a Hector ferry. So that hospital used to look after all the wounded ones. So वो hospital बंद हो गया है, and there is a huge hospital in southern Tajikistan at a place called Kurgantepa that we run even today, and we train the locals and everything and all. They're very happy out there. It's a massive multi-speciality hospital. This Farkhor mein, there used to be a TB hospital which was defunct, which the Soviets used to run. वहाँ पे they had given space and we used to run a proper hospital. It was a multi-speciality hospital, सब machines वगैरह थी. Once we moved out, all the machines were lying with us in the basement. So the ambassador himself, we went, set it up, and they were doctors who were trained, so they all went there. Farkhor base के जितने भी drivers and others थे, they work with our embassy in Dushanbe. This is a separate one which the Tajiks had wanted. This used to be the base repair depot for all the Soviet helicopters when they were operating in Afghanistan. Massive area. So basically the runway has been done up. We made a new state-of-art ATC for them. There is a separate daily servicing and technical inspection area is separate. Hard standing वगैरह बनाया था, and there is a proper mess for 110 people which has been made there for our people to stay there. The MES Palam still maintains that airfield
Wow,
for the Tajiks. For the
that's
Tajiks,
interesting.
and of course the Russian military base का जो 501 air wing है, that used to be in Dushanbe airport, that has shifted there. They fly from there. We don't physically place anything, but yes, if there is a need, then we can go. So we don't have a base as such out there. We help the Tajiks run it completely.
Anand says, interestingly, Pakistan's is agriculture intensive and a highly water deficit country. So the only export they can and will have is religious mercenaries. Plus, allowing dual passport is a headache for the whole world.
Yeah, they have been exporting is Shakini, yeah, it is the font of international terrorism. But then people are slowly losing faith on them also now.
Hmm.
अब वही आईएसकेपी के साथ लड़ेगा, वही अलकायदा के साथ भी लड़ेगा. आज अलकायदा वाले को मार रहा है, कल आईएसकेपी को मार रहा है. मतलब भरोसा कौन करेगा उसके ऊपर? So, but you're right. They only have mercenaries. That's why the Middle Eastern countries are very skeptical to keep any Pakistani with them. whatever talks before the COVID, I used to travel a lot to Europe, at least twice a year, for a lot of discussions on the Middle East and other things. So there, the Saudis and the UAEs used to openly say, even Qataris, Bahrainian, Oman का मैंने देखा नहीं था. They used to openly say that गार्ड रखने के लिए भी डर लगता है, तो घर पे नहीं, उनका कोई डेट का फार्म वगैरह होता है वहां छोड़
Yeah.
देते हैं. घर पे नहीं रखते हैं गार्ड कि भी कल को बुल्ला ने कुछ बोल दिया और तुमको काट दिया तो. This is the state that they have come to, and they are treated as third class citizens. That is the whole problem with Pakistanis today कि तुम Arabs के साथ अपने आप को जोड़ते हो. We are descendants of Arabs, and the Arab countries look down on you as third class citizens. And agriculture intensive deficit वो तो flood के बाद खत्म हो गया पूरा यार. And population is growing, पानी है नहीं, water management, like I said, ना, they have never had any structure to run the country. कोई स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, किसी चीज का स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है. तो पहले चल रहा था वैसे ही चल रहा है, तो खत्म हो गया पानी. वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग वगैरह तो when you talk of water harvesting to any Pakistani you meet outside, he look at you blank. He won't even know what you're talking of.
पानी उगा रहे हो क्या? काट
He
रहे
won't
हो?
even know what you're talking of. तो क्या
हार्वेस्ट
बात
इज कटिंग ना, तो फसल काट रहे हैं पानी की.
क्या? You're right. You're very right. They have only religious mercenaries, and the education is such. No?
Yeah, interesting question here, sir. Rahul again. He says Pakistan's feudalism is similar to the Mughals in its era, like zamindari system, and Pakistan elites are like the feudal lords. Pakistan is like a mini Mughal empire.
Rahul Rathod ji, you have hit the nail on the head. That is what it is. And the elite is that 1 to 2% of elite who hold the land and everything. And that is why in one of my shows I had mentioned ना, जो उसने बताया था कितना जमीन किस किस को मिलता है, भूल गए हो तो बता भी सकता हूँ मैं. इसी मेरे
नहीं वो है ना सर. एक सेकंड. I have the details.
सिद्दीका की किताब है यार.
हाँ हाँ. I have the details. I'll take it out. आप मैं
मेरा नहीं यार, मेरे सामने है लिखा हुआ उसके बुक का एक्सर्प्ट. Major General and above 240 acres. Brigadiers and Colonels 150 acres. Lieutenant Colonels 120 acres. Majors, Captain, Lieutenant 100 acres. JCOs, that is Naib Risaldar 64 acres. NCO 32 acres. And it is cumulative. हाँ, NCO बन गए 32 एकड़ मिल गए, JCO बन गए 64 acre. मतलब you retire as a JCO, you have 96 acres of land. And plus 64, that is you become 1-star JCO, 2-star JCO, and you become what they call the Subedar Major. तो अशोका उनका क्राउन लगता है, ठीक है, उनका वो चांद लगता है. तो मतलब 64 into 3, that is 192 plus 32, 224 acres of land if you have retired as a Subedar Major of a unit. You have prime land. They have this Defense Housing Agency and they deal with prime land. ये जिस मेजर साहब के पीछे गए हैं, he was looking after 12,000 acres of land, and he himself, they used to give him money to go and acquire that land, discounted cheap rates में उनको forcibly मिलता था. जितने पैसे बचते थे उससे वो अपना लेता था. He had already his annual turnover from the time he has retired, now that he has run away to UK, he was saying is 1,200 to 2,000 crore Pakistani rupees per year.
This guy's view was ridiculous. I mean, I saw that it was.
इतने हैं, वो चला गया यूके में. सारा उसने जो कुछ भी पैसा था उसने अपना गढ़ यूके में बनाया हुआ, चला गया.
1200 करोड़ रुपए का धंधा चला रहा था मेजर.
नहीं, वो उसका पर्सनल है. which is separate from that. And annual 1200 करोड़ का नहीं, 1200 से 2000 करोड़ का एनुअल टर्नओवर था उसका, जो पैसा बनाता था। इतनी जमीन हड़प करके बैठे हैं फौज यार। सो
It's insane.
दैट्स द होल प्रॉब्लम।
Let's take a couple more, sir.
तो अब और किससे लेगा वो, मतलब और
नहीं,
कोई
नहीं.
तो बिजनेस है नहीं।
Let's take a couple more questions.
या
Stretch this for another 10 minutes more. And the next question is, yeah. Hamay says, we keep talking about how Arabs, Americans, and Chinese use Pakistan to target India, but it comes at a huge cost to them. Saudis would be cursing India that we took out the rot in 47, and Saudi, Chinese, Americans, and Brits have to take care of this rot by almost giving $200 billion to hold their pockets. There's a flip
पार्टीशन
side.
हमने नहीं किया था, वो ब्रिट ने किया था। to say that we took away the lot, अमेय जी, नो। ये तो उन्होंने पूरा रॉट ब्रिटिश ने डाला था, एंड डिवाइड एंड रूल के पॉलिसी में करके कि ये नहीं रह सकते, ये नहीं हो सकता। इफ यू लुक एट एनी टॉक बिफोर प्रायर टू 1920, यू डोंट फाइंड दिस, ऑल दिस टॉक ऑफ पाकिस्तान एंड टूटेगा और ये होगा और वो होगा। It was after the First World War you find all this coming up, chatter, and that Muslims and Hindus can't stay together, and that ended up in a disaster. It proved wrong, but it was for different reasons, because after the 97, 98 में लॉर्ड वेवल के all these write-ups and everything were declassified 50 years होने के बाद ब्रिट्स ने declassify किया। उसने क्लियर बताया था, the threat is from there, India is not going to, threat is from Soviet Union, India is not going to provide any bases, we need a tract of land, and this portion is strategically important for us to be able to look at the soft underbelly of Soviet Union and the emerging threat of a communist China. And this he wrote in 45. Okay, that is why Pakistan was created. अब उसका यूज खत्म हो गया तो यूज, अब वेस्ट तो यूज एंड थ्रो है यार, यूज खत्म हो गया तो उसने थ्रो कर दिया उसको। और हमारा अब उसको क्या फर्क पड़ा है, उसने तो साउथ एशिया को वो कचरा खाना बना दिया इसको छोड़ के। बट ही इज नेक्स्ट टू यू, ही इज एन एंटिटी, ही इज बीन देयर फॉर 75 years.
75 years, exactly.
And it's a nuclear entity.
Which is what brings me to this question, sir. If Pakistan tries to use the nuclear blackmail, will the West then start pressurizing them to give up their nuclear weapons or put
ये
it
तो
under
चल रहा है ना,
the...
इसलिए तो एड नहीं मिल रहा, वो खुल के बोल नहीं रहे हैं। If you look at the Twitter chatter and other chatter, they have openly said
They want us to give up our weapons.
No, not just that. The same thing what Sri Lanka has done. They are cutting over the next 5 years, they're cutting the armed forces by 1/3 strength.
Yeah, 30%, yes, sir.
Okay. They have told Pakistan that 600 million is your pension and pay packet for the Fauj, which you have put it in civilian budget. Bring it to the military budget, cut the military budget as it stands at present by 1/3, and in the next 5 to 10 years give a plan to reduce your military strength by 1/3. And why do you need so much of nuclear weapons? You don't have money. निकालना है न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स, देने को तैयार नहीं है, पैसे मिल नहीं रहे। बट देन यू लुक एट अ डिफरेंट थ्रेट नाउ ना, if it becomes radicalized, a radicalized nation with a nuclear weapon.
So the question that you're asking is, will Pakistan remain alive with its nuclear weapons, or will Pakistan radicalize with its nuclear weapons.
I am looking at a radicalized Pakistan with a nuclear weapon. Pakistan may not, whether it stays in its present borders, that's a different issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if I have a radicalized Pakistan west of Indus with the nuclear weapon, bhai sahab,
Big
it's a
problem.
problem. Because the nuclear weapons are all east of Indus. There's nothing west of Indus. Nuclear weapons are east of Indus. That's the worry. And that's why I'm saying that keep work with China to keep Imran Khan west of Indus so that east of Indus stays a buffer, and then you work with them and start removing, let the US and others work on them to start removing their nuclear weapons.
Interesting comment from Naveen. Naveen, thank you so much for this. He says, between a heavy meal sessions of China narrative wars, Ukraine conflict, and de-dollarization with emerging technology, this was a nice Pakistan-based palate cleanser. Thanks, General Sir, for this treat.
Thank you, Naveen. But this is a fact. वो सब भी चल रहा है, ये भी है.
ये बड़ा important है.
बूफे में ये भी सर्व हो रहा है.
Yeah, you know, Pakistan is that dish in the buffet that you're worried about trying, but you know you have to try it. There's nothing you
Yeah,
can do
because
about it.
the problem is that you may not want it in the buffet, but it will still be there.
It'll still be there. Sir, एक छोटा सा मेरा last question है आपसे.
Yeah.
I want the viewers who are listening to this to change the way that they have started looking at Pakistan and the way they've started analyzing Pakistan. Sir. One of the biggest things that we have started doing is getting into their politics. We ask Nawaz Sharif ने क्या बोला, उसने क्या बोला, उसने क्या बोला, उसने क्या बोला, उसने क्या. Does that make a difference, or do we need to relearn how to analyze Pakistan?
We have to be very, that makes nothing. That is looking at it at a tactical and operational level. I'm looking at stepping back further at a strategic level and how it impacts India per se. Whether Nawaz Sharif comes, doesn't come, doesn't make a difference, because this radicalized society will take a multiple generational shift after a change in education to de-radicalize. Because there is nothing in Pakistan. There are only two things in Pakistan, or I would rather say three things. Either you join one of the entities of the deep state. I have not included the radicals in the deep state. Or you join the radicals, or you migrate. बाकी का क्या बचा है यार? बड़ा खानदान है, वो एक दो बच्चे भेज देते हैं रेडिकल्स के पास. अगर फौज में नहीं जा पाया तो रेडिकल्स में भेज देते हैं कि भाई कम से कम घर पे खाना आएगा. और क्या है? एग्रीकल्चर से तो वो जो फ्यूडल लॉर्ड है वो अपना धंधा चलाता है यार. He gives them whatever little they have to. And it is so laughable when you see that their train, the so-called train, local trains between villages, रेलवे लाइन है जो अपना लाइन सेफ्टी के लिए पुराने ज़माने में होता था, वो पंप करके ट्रेन जाता था, वो लाइन ठीक है कि नहीं देखने के लिए. उसको मॉडिफाई किया है, छत डाला है, दो तरफ बेंच लगाए हैं और गधा बांध रखा है आगे, और गधे को चला के लेके जाते हैं विलेज टू विलेज. ये इनका लोकल ट्रेन है. कभी आप उसका वीडियो देखना. रूरल का आपको दिखाते नहीं है ना, हम केवल ट्रेन का इनका देखते हैं जो छत पे बैठ के जाते हैं. ये हालत है रूरल में. लाइटिंग नहीं है आपके बॉर्डर के पास. इवन इन व्हेन आई वाज a youngster तब देखा था. even when I had gone for recce in early 2000s, around mid 2000s, there is a road, बस आ रहा है, there is a sharp bend, बंद के ऊपर चढ़ के there is a sharp bend और दूसरे तरफ खाई है. आज भी बस तब भी जब देखा था कि बस जब चल के आ रहा है, सेम थिंग व्हाट आई सॉ इन 79. बंदा मशाल लेके खड़ा होता है दिखाने के लिए कि यहाँ पे रास्ता खराब है, और वो बस वो बंद के ऊपर चढ़ के जाती है. ये हालत है. बस वो बंद के ऊपर जा रहा है तो ये मशाल चला के कॉर्नर में खड़ा हुआ है बेंड के पास कि भाई साहब यहाँ खाई है, देख के। बेंडो के अंदर लाइट नहीं है। कभी गूगल अर्थ में गो फॉर नाइट,
Hmm.
हाउ द अर्थ लुक्स, एंड लुक एट पाकिस्तान।
Or China for that matter.
More the lights which are there shows a more developed area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at China, eastern seaboard तो मतलब दिवाली हो रहा है। Moment you come towards the west, अंधेरा,
Central West is nothing.
या nothing, अंधेरा। Look at Pakistan, वो छोटे मोटे आपको सिटीज दिख जाएंगे बड़े बड़े जो बिल्कुल दिवालियां हो रहे हैं, बाकी सब तो अंधेरा, दे नो लाइट। So what is that common man going to do, yaar? See, a common man is least interested whether his son has become radical or whether he is radical. He is interested कि भाई मेरे घर पे छत हो, घर हो, एक छत हो, रहने के लिए जगह है, कपड़ा पहनने के लिए है, और खाना पीना टेबल पे होना चाहिए मेरे खानदान को। That's it. Yeah. That's the need of a common man. रोटी कपड़ा मकान, बेसिक। और जब नहीं है, इतने प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, लाइक रैबिट्स, दे प्रोड्यूस क्लच आफ्टर क्लच, तो 2-3 बच्चे भेज देते हैं, जिहादों में चले जाओ, जिहादी बन जाओ या फौजी बन जाओ। That's it. That's their life here. और जो who doesn't want to be in this life, he migrates.
I just can't digest hearing that even, sir. Honestly, I mean, it gives me a very bad feeling in my stomach when I hear that. Imagine these people are actually living in that condition.
Yeah, they're living here. क्या कर सकते हो? पोलियो ड्रॉप शरिया में हराम है, आप पोलियो ड्रॉप देते हैं।
That is.
अरे किस दुनिया में? That is why when I said na, in one of my talks on your platform, when I had said how to make the base of the narrative, that yes, you go to your scriptures, but you need to modify it for today.
Today, yes, sir.
For today, the societal needs and norms for today. You can't base it on the societal norms of yesteryears. शरिया का तो यही प्रॉब्लम है ना। आप 8th 9th सेंचुरी के बेसिस पे आज के दिन चलाना चाहते हो, कैसे चलेगा? World has moved on.
Correct, sir.
So that is the problem, and you feel sad. ठीक है, they were, I won't say they were from the same stock, but a lot of water is flowing down.
I'm sorry if I may differ with you. The stock, I don't think makes a damn of a difference.
No,
How
that's
does
why
it make a difference?
Water, no. I'm saying that they were. That's why I said they were of the same stock. They're not today. I don't align myself with them today at all, because their thought process is totally different.
Yeah.
In fact, their thought process would be very different from a lot of people in the Muslim world.
Indeed, yes, sir. ये जो लोग, lot of people say ना, same है, हम same दिखते हैं, same खाना,
वो थे यार 47 में, आज के तारीख में नहीं हो सेम आप।
I don't think so. I disagree with that. Absolutely, sir.
In a way, you are right. उस वक्त भी अगर ये हमारे स्टॉक के होते तो they would not have permitted partition.
Exactly. I don't buy it, sir. I don't buy it. And what stock are we talking about? So I'm sorry, but this is something that I kind of feel very strongly about, because if you look at it, why do we have this thing called the battles of Panipat? Because the people in that region never wanted to fight. Any guy who bloody walked in, they said, "Saab, आगे जाओ, यहाँ मत लड़ो हमारे साथ."
No, see, most of these people, when they came, Sindh had already been conquered.
I mean,
Sindh had already been conquered, and so they would be easily able to come from there.
The stock is different, sir. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. कि अगर stock same होता तो मांगते क्यों पाकिस्तान आप?
मांगती थी, but
won't have asked for it.
Even if you say कि नहीं चलो बाद में they repented, this that, whatever you may say, I don't relate to the people of today.
Absolutely.
Even as I'm saying, as early as 93, 94, when I was doing the staff college in Bangladesh, The Pak used to had all three Army, Navy, Air Force officers doing it. The naval officer's son, he, the naval officer was posted in Karachi. He wouldn't talk to me कि ये हिंदू है काफिर है. Can you believe it? I'm talking of 93, 93, 94. While everybody else used to talk, other Pakistanis used to talk to me. In fact, the Air Force officer's son, to, for him, I was the best in the world. He didn't want anybody else. He was the best of friend with me. But the naval officer's son would not talk to me ever throughout the course. And when he was asked, he bluntly said, "ये काफिर है, काफिरों से मैं बात नहीं करता." बच्चा था 8 साल का. So you can imagine the mentality, what he has been taught and by whom. His dad kept apologizing throughout the course and his mom. But an 8-year-old kid telling that ये काफिर है, मैं काफिरों से बात नहीं करता.
घर में बोलते होंगे ना ये चीजें फिर.
अब बच्चे तो वही सीखते हैं जो आप देख रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो.
Exactly.
अब 8 साल का बच्चा है, 93 का है, आज कितना 38 साल का होगा. तो अब वो उसके मन में क्या था, वो यही है. अब तो ये स्टॉक तो यही है यार, इसके साथ मैं कैसे बोलूंगा कि ये मेरा स्टॉक है. आई रिलेट टू देम. नॉनसेंस.
बिल्कुल नहीं है सर.
टू देम एट ऑल.
या एब्सोल्युटली सर, बिल्कुल नहीं है. I absolutely agree with you. There is no connection between the two people. This whole business of culture, yeah, fair enough. Culture, you can borrow my culture. I mean, we follow a lot of the silly American culture. That doesn't make us Americans.
No.
So I don't buy. Yeah, absolutely, sir.
नहीं, 8 साल का बच्चा बोल रहा है यार काफिर है, मैं काफिरों से बात नहीं करता. तो
क्या स्टॉप कर रहे हो सर?
आप देख लो.
आप और मैं अगर आज कराची या लाहौर में खड़े हो जाएं सर, with my, I mean, I've got tattoos and this and that, I would be dead in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so अब that's why I said I have nothing in this Aman ki Asha hai. Waste of
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely.
Waste of time.
Sir, honestly, I second Naveen, who actually said that this would have been a palate cleanser, but honestly, I am a little more scared than I went inside with the show. You know?
I hope I'm sure the decision makers are keeping a very, very, very close watch on Pakistan.
If not, watch this show.
And China. Pakistan and China, these two. But where our interests overlap? Because China चलो है, but इतना गाय गुजरा नहीं है जैसे इनके लोग हैं.
I think there's somewhere down the line we need to establish this with China that देख भाई तू उसको support कर ले, ठीक है. जिस दिन वो गिरेगा ना तू जाएगा. You will have a problem. I have been dealing with this idiot for the past 75 years. I know how to deal with him, and I will deal with him. You don't. So I think that's a great thing that has come out of this discussion today, sir. You and I should write a letter to Xi Jinping.
वो तो अपने धुन में है. वो उसका गजल है ना, किसका यार वो, that I'm forgetting, गुलाम अली.
Sir,
अपनी धुन में रहता हूँ. तो शी जिनपिंग भी अपनी धुन में रहता है.
Amazing, sir. I mean,
but actually the शेर starts as अपनी धुन में रहता हूँ, मैं भी तेरे जैसा हूँ. ना वो उनके जैसा नहीं, वो किसी के जैसा नहीं है. वो एक्चुअली है मैं अपनी धुन में रहता हूँ, मैं किसी के जैसा नहीं हूँ. और पाकिस्तान भी वैसे ही है, मैं अपनी धुन में रहता हूँ, मैं किसी के जैसा नहीं हूँ.
Honestly, there's no country like Pakistan, and Pakistanis should be proud of that.
Yes.
Having said that, so some stuff that you brought out today is dangerous, and although the conventional wisdom till a long time ago, even I, sir, honestly, till the last time we had this conversation, where you said no, Imran Khan is not this thing, and this is the background to it. Then one actually goes back and reads, and one wonders, my God, even I had that thing that Imran Khan would be great for India because he'll destroy Pakistan.
He is called Taliban Khan
for a reason.
Yeah, it's not without reason that they call him Taliban Khan. He is the face, yeah.
And when one
मुखौटे dangerous होते हैं, क्योंकि मुखौटे के पीछे कौन है तुम्हें पता नहीं.
I know when one reads about Bushra Bibi, and it's insanity. So what you brought about is a totally different angle. So I don't think a lot of us would have actually thought that Bushra Bibi is the actual connection between the radical grouping and Imran Khan. And it is a weird condition the way this whole thing happened. And a lot of people say she kind of literally plays with him. So it's
She guides him क्या करना क्या नहीं करना.
and
And
he
he's
says that she's my guide, she's my spiritual guide, and this and that.
या और वो जो पीर बाबा था उसकी तो निकल पड़ी होगी. जिसने बोला था कि इससे शादी कर ले तो पीएम बन जाएगा. तो बस बशरा बीबी एंड पीर बाबा एंड फैजू भाई बस calling the shots.
Amazing, sir. As always, it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon spent. A lot of learnings, guys. I'm sure all of you feel the same way. There are currently 302 people watching us.
Thank you,
It
sir.
is
Thank you so much.
it is absolutely honor, sir, to host you for this Saturday. This thing, and I really thought, honestly, and with all seriousness, it would be a lighter session where we would be probably discussing and this and that. But the kind of thoughts that we've given needs a lot of research and needs a lot of understanding as to what is happening in that country. This is going to impact us right on our face before we realize it. We all thought that Pakistani everything is dead. हाँ एक आधा grenade फोड़ेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे. But they did what they did day before yesterday in Punch, and that's something that we need to understand.
The biggest worry is we always used to say in Fauj also, and a lot of people have started talking about that the problem is that there is an army which controls a tract of land which is called Pakistan. But today, if that army which was controlling the tract of land called Pakistan is itself having fissures and fighting with itself and having self-doubts, then what happens to that tract of land? Who owns it then at the end? So that's why I made that statement which I say now. It is not pro and anti Imran. Don't look at it at that manner. It is Sharia versus moderate Islam. What Musharraf had said, we should be a moderate
Musharraf Islam.
So Sharia versus moderate Islam, that is the battle which is unfolding in the streets of Pakistan today. And at the moment, Palda Sharia ke taraf bhari hai, because Sharia's face is Imran Khan. All said and done, he is a very charismatic person.
That is there. There's no question
He's
about it.
been a very charismatic person through his cricketing days, and he's a very charismatic person.
I have met him in Bombay long time back.
But people have to remember that he is the face of Sharia. So it's not pro and anti-Imran. It is Sharia versus moderate Islam, which is going on right next to your border.
I must say this, sir. A lot of the Aman ki Asha need to watch this.
Useless. Aman ki
Get
Asha.
a reality check.
See, Aman ki Asha, people forget that peace is two-sided. Like you say, you need two hands to clap. So peace, both sides have to agree. Peace is not a one-way ticket that I will say peace and the other side will agree. See, the other side is not keen on peace with you. What Aman ki Asha are you talking about here?
Absolutely. And the last announcement is that Dev Talks has just crossed 19,000 followers. So I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
It's a long journey. So when I look back, sometimes it's really wonderful and great to be connected with so many people, so many learned people like you who come across and educate us, sir. Thank you so much once again, and see you next week, sir.
Thank
Jai
you.
Hind.
Jai Hind.